I'm Michelle Carter, and I'm the owner of MCB Nurse Consultant. I'm the #1 DON coach to help directors and nurses in long-term care to overcome their exhaustion and frustration of being a director of nursing. We know how overwhelming that job can be. I help them improve communication skills, leadership development, learning emotion intelligence, helping them to learn advanced personality science so they can build stronger relationships with their team, their family members, and to increase retention and recruitment. I'm excited to be here today to talk to you a little bit about recruitment as for directors and nurses. But before we get started, I want you to like, comment, and share our YouTube channel, MCB Nurse Consultant. Today, I want to talk to you about why recruitment in long-term care is important to director of nursing. A lot of times in long-term care, the director of nursing is not involved with the recruitment process at all. Most of the time, it's the HR department that handles all the recruitment and the hiring process. But with my experience of being a director of nursing over 17 years, I've found it very, very crucial that the director of nursing is involved with that recruitment. And I want to give you some quick tips of what you can do as a director of nursing to be more involved with the recruitment process. The first thing you want to know what type of people you want to hire for your building. You want to know what type of people, what type of experience level they have. You want to know what type of personality they have. You want to look at where they worked at prior and why they left, and what type of job duties did they have there prior. You want to have that set structure already in place by the time you have that interview. And you want your HR person to understand that structure that you're looking for. And you understand if you're looking for a brand new supervisor for the evening shift, you might not want a new graduate nurse. But will the HR department understand that? That's something a strong director of nursing, an experienced director of nursing will understand why we might not want a brand new grad to be able to be the evening supervisor. You want to be able to, you especially want to know their experience level and their personality, or for the position that they're going to be in. Your supervisor is going to have to have more leadership role than maybe your CNAs working daylight compared to your supervisors working on an evening shift or night shift. You also want to be very, very clear, and this is your second tip. You want to be very, very clear of what the job description and the job duties are. When you go into that interview, you want to know what to explain to them what the job interview is, so what the job description is, and what are some of the duties. And you want to look at what experiences they had prior to see if they can fit into those and to fit into your job description and your duties. We all know in every job description there's a miscellaneous section. Go over those miscellaneous sections. Let them know what some of their duties may be. For example, in my community that I work in, my facility I work in, I let my evening supervisor know and my night supervisor know there may be times where they may have to help when we have call-offs or open shifts. We want to be able to let them know that we all work together because we're a small facility to be able to help the team out. Because at the end of the day, remember, it's all for the best interest of the residents. You want to be very, very clear with that. And you want your HR person to understand that. And you can explain that to them so they'll be able to understand that. They'll be able to recruit accordingly. You want to know the hiring process. Do you know the hiring process as a director of nursing? Do you know how long it takes from application to orientation, how long it truly takes? Do you know how long it takes for them to go through their criminal backgrounds? Do you know how long it takes for them to get their physicals and their drug tests? That is something that's very important that you should know. Obviously, you're not going to be the one who's going to take care of the process with the new recruit or the new candidate, but you want to be able to know how long the process is, because then you will know how long it's going to be before that position is 100% filled, how many days you have to cover, and then looking at their orientation process. So I can give you an example. A couple months ago, we were recruiting for a 3D11 supervisor. I already had a contracted agency person in that position. Well, I knew once I hired this new person and I knew how long it was going to be. By the time it was time for me, do I need to renew this contract with the agency person, or do I need to pull back? It took about maybe 2.5 months for everything to get processed, get them through orientation, get them trained so we can start pulling back from the agency person in that position. You want to know that, especially if you have an agency in your building, because you want to make sure that you're able to time out when you can start cutting back on that agency staff and making sure that the new team member has gotten the training that it truly needed. Again, that kind of goes back to knowing, as a director of nursing, knowing what type of person you want, knowing the job description, what the job description is, and the clear of the duties, knowing the hiring process. Now, we all are working in, and my fourth tip for you is a little bit not traditional, what we would usually talk about. We are all working in a competitive market. And there are some facilities that they just don't have that competitive edge, and that's okay. But what do you have good in your facility? Sell your organization. Sell your organization, because if you don't have that competitive market, sell your organization. If you're in a facility that has great retention in your leadership, sell that. Talk to your recruits about that, because people will look at, well, this must be a good place. If you're in a facility that has had great outcomes clinically with state surveys, sell those also. I want you to be able to sell your organization. If you do not feel comfortable selling your organization, then maybe that's not an organization you should be working at, because that is something, a representation of you. Are you going to have some ups and downs? Of course you're going to have ups and downs. We all have ups and downs. That's part of the role of being a director of nursing. But when you have those great things that's going on, please sell them. For example, in the organization I work in, our CEO has been in the company for 38 years. That's something that I make sure that I tell my new recruits. We have a CEO that has been in the organization for 38 years. Where do you find that at? That doesn't happen in a lot of places. But people look at, well, this is an organization that is stable. They want to work places that are stable and good and positive environments. At the end of the day, we all know that what matters to people is the money matters, but also a positive environment matters. You want to make sure that new employee has a positive experience through the interview, through orientation, the general orientation, and also on the floor orientation. Myself, as the director of nursing, I interview every person that's coming into the nursing department. Now, there may be times where I'm on vacation or I can't interview, but I have one special person to do that. That's because I know what type of individuals I need in my department. I can understand from using personality science to talk to them to understand where they're going to be a good fit in. And that helps me to be able to put them in the right positions. And they might not be the best fit for our organization, and that's fine. But you want to know that at the interview process. At the end of the day, if you want to increase your recruitment and your retention, you just don't want a body in a position. You want a qualified individual that is going to take your team to the next level. And in order to do that, you have to be involved. It is so important for a director of nursing and long-term care to be involved. Staffing is one of the biggest challenges that we go through every day, because sometimes it's things that's out of our control. And that's why it's so important if we can try to get in the spaces to control the things that we can. You can control by being in those interview process. You can control by understanding what type of person you want for your organization. You can control how the job description is and the duties that they need to do. You can control by understanding the process, the hiring process, and when you're going to be a good fit and how long you're going to need to keep that position open. And you can control what you sell about your organization. And those are things that I want you to remember, because being a director of nursing, if we can get our staffing, if we can increase our retention, increase our recruitment, and get our staffing at a stable level, that is going to give us a better work-life balance, that we're able to go home after our 8 hours. We're able to have stronger people that can handle situations, which will lead to less phone calls for us and able for us to have a true time for our family and for ourselves. I hope these tips helped you. And I don't want you to miss out on our workshop we are having August 20th through the 22nd. Staffing Strategies Made Easy for Directors and Nurses in Long-Term Care. It's a 3-day workshop. In that 3-day workshop, you're going to have a chance to understand how strategies to increase retention and recruitment. You're going to understand ways of how you can increase engagement, learning how to put different staffing tools in a place, and also, as a bonus, you're going to get 4.5 continuing nursing education credits. I don't want you to miss out on that. At the bottom of this video, you'll be able to click the link and sign up for our wonderful workshop. Our registration will be open August 7th. So you'll have a chance to join our workshop August 20th through the 22nd, 7 p.m. in Eastern Time. It's a 3-day workshop, and you do not want to miss that. If you're a director nurse in long-term care, this is a chance for you to be able to talk to other director nurses, learn from experienced directors and nurses of different strategies that we use to be able to get our staffing stabilized and be able to find out work-life balance. Don't forget to comment, like, and share our YouTube channel, MCB Nurse Consultant. I can't wait to see you on August 20th at our workshop. Talk to you soon.